All right, defenders, welcome back. I told you we would cover it, and we're going to. Let's talk elections happening in Minnesota. So super fun, and not just Minnesota. This is big deals happening across the country. But let's start with Minnesota real fast and kind of move our way outwards. Very close race occurred in Minnesota where you had Omar going against the current incumbent Mayor Frey or Mayor Frey. Somebody corrected me earlier. I think it's pronounced Fry. Really, really bad with names. I got 5 kids. I can't keep their names straight. So. Past that, near loss for him. And is this a good thing? Well, I want you to keep in mind that defund the police, the riots, and the riots, how they were allowed to continue, all of this stuff happened under Mayor Frey. This was absolutely the environment that he allowed to fester and to have occur in this, in Minneapolis, okay? And in conjunction, in the Twin Cities, I mean, granted, you have a different mayor in the Twin Cities, right? But it's not like they were necessarily lifting their fingers to stop people throwing conveniently placed pallets of bricks through businesses' windows and burning down billions of dollars of infrastructure and personal businesses. And they burned down businesses in the communities that they were trying to support with the Black Lives Matter movement, right? There's a heck of a lot of African-American, families and business owners that their businesses got destroyed by the supposed group that was trying to support and help them, right? So there's irony for you, because really, was it about Black Lives Matter? Nope, I believe that was communist black bloc crap, okay? That's just me. Call me old-fashioned, right? So Omar lost, but he does have a big support for the Somali community because he's Somali himself. And there's a lot of fraud and scandal that's attached to that Somali community also. We have already covered that in some earlier videos. So as you can see, there's big changes that are happening across the country, and not in a good way. If you're paying attention to at all what's happening in, say, England and Europe right now, we're not far behind that at the moment, okay? Now, so that's covering the election right here in Minnesota. Frey ended up winning. But let's hop over and see work our way back east. Virginia was a big deal because we had the Attorney General and the governorship up for grabs in the state of Virginia. And it absolutely flipped and went blue in this case, okay? And one, it makes you realize that, wow, the Republicans themselves are kind of feckless and worthless in this regard. They do nothing but clutch their pearls and get upset when somebody makes mean jokes in a Twitter feed, versus actually putting their money where their mouth is and fighting for the people and trying to actually push change in the country, okay? Now, be that as it may, let's look at Jones, who won the Attorney General seat. This is an Attorney General that, when asked if he had 2 bullets and was in a room with Hitler and Pol Pot and his competitor for the AG position, Gilbert, that he would have put 2 bullets in his competitor. He even stated in private conversations that got leaked out that he hopes his children die in his arms and that they are shot and killed, so that he would change his position when it comes to gun rights. That he actively wants Republicans to die. And you have now this entire party on the left that's pushing, hey, we should come together. The Republicans need to cool things down. That's, of course, things that communists would always like to say and continue to push. But we're escalating very, very quickly in this country into a direction we do not want to go. I have been to active war zones and nations that have gone through civil conflict, and I'm going to tell you right now, you do not want that in this country. And I'm sure there's great defenders, you guys out there watching this channel that are like, if it comes to it, I'll defend my nation and everything. And I commend that patriotism, and that's awesome. But I'm telling you, you don't want it. And if things get, barbarism gets real fast. And, go look at where you live, go look at suburbia, wherever you're at, and note that the things in this country that we have around us are a miracle, because that is not the rest of the world. I've been to Iraq, I've been to Pakistan, I've been to Laos, I've traveled to a lot of countries, and we live so differently than the rest of the world. So now past that, let's move on and continue on talking those elections. So that is beyond the pale, absolutely despicable that Jones would actually say these things. And even more shocking is that it allowed him to win. He lost some points in the running, but in the end, he pulled it back and actually got a win for the AG seat, which is absolutely, is going to be terrible for the state of Virginia. And, I could see that going bad for just political rivals, as now you're having both parties realize that, like, hey, lawfare's on the table. But with Gilbert, the way he's saying it, lawfare is quickly being removed off the table, and that's a promotion of violence, which is absolutely antithesis to what anybody, to any normal person wants. Okay, so now let's jump across the river, go through New Jersey. New Jersey is, in the middle of issues with their election. They have instances of cheating that are actively occurring right now, with voting sites being shut down. So that's a whole issue too. But if we go over into New York, what's the old adage with 9/11? Never forget. Yeah, they forgot. But the big shocking thing is with Zohran Mamdani winning that position is one, yes, he's Muslim. Two, he's a communist. Okay, is that everything was voted more or less along party lines, but also nationality lines, which is really, really interesting. Okay, so New Yorkers in New York, so those that are native to New York. Okay, these are, and they're all kinds of people, blacks and Latinos and, white Americans and Jewish, whoever, all kinds of different people. They voted for Cuomo, okay, along those lines. And that it shows you the rest of it, who are not native-born Americans, all voted Zohran Mamdani. And so the nationality and the support, and with the Muslim community specifically also helping him get into power, is absolutely shocking. So during his victory too in Times Square, you had Muslims actually come out and do their prayer calls out there to celebrate what was actually, the win with Mamdani. And then Mamdani let his mask drop. Go check out his speech from his win, because it is absolutely a shift from how he was running and what he was promoting himself as. Because once it comes to that point, how communists take power is that, hey, you're a useful idiot, you voted for them, you got them into power, guess what? Afterwards, you are discarded because your usefulness is over. Hey, in Soviet Russia, with the useful idiots, they lined you up against the wall with everybody else that was their political enemies, even if you helped support the revolution, and they shot you, okay? In this case, they're just discarded politically at this moment, and that's what Mamdani and AOC are doing right now with some of their supporters, like, say, Hassan Piker and other, like, famous Twitch, Twitch personalities, content creators, if you will. And they're, like, laughing at them that they got them into power and discarding them. So anyways, interesting things happening with the election, so pay attention to this stuff big time. Trump just came out and said on the tails of the New York election that this is a big win for the Republican Party overall, because having a communist in there, you're going to see basically how the city will deteriorate further. I mean, Mamdani's already doing things, or has promoted anyways on his platform, that he wants to push things along a racial line. He wants to tax white neighborhoods more than any of the other neighborhoods in the city. Okay, and so there's a big racial component to that also. Now, I'm not the one saying this. Go onto his site, check out the videos, man. This is, I'm not the one that's saying these things. I'm not making it up. So you can definitely see that stuff for yourself too. So anyways, remember, guys, I want you prepared, not scared. That's why we're covering this stuff. So you're in the know, and you're watching, and you're paying attention to the things that are happening around us. So anyways, that's all I got for you this evening. So God bless and good night, everybody.